The empire of Asaria was once a golden beacon. A kingdom so mighty, merchants sang of its wealth, kings trembled at its armies, and legends whispered of its royal noble purebloods, lords of its 9 realms, demigods who walked among men. But darkness slithered in. Queen Zamora, a sorceress of cursed beauty and venomous charm, clawed her way to the throne. With spells sharper than swords and alliances deadlier than poison, she drowned Asaria in shadows. The people wept, the land groaned, and the prophecy whispered in the cracks of forgotten temples. Long ago, beneath the twin suns of a divided land, stood 2 kingdoms born of the same blood, Asaria, the golden empire of fertile plains and unconquered might, and Naku, the iron-hardened realm of scorching deserts and unyielding pride. Their father, the great herald king Nakusa, had split his domain between his sons. Asa, the firstborn, was given the lush west, where rivers sang and harvests fed nations. Naku, the second son, inherited the barren northeast, a wasteland of sand and stone. A fair division, declared the king. Naku called it a betrayal. To him, Nakusa always favored Asa. For years after Nakusa passed on, the brothers maintained an uneasy peace. Asaria fed Naku with its grain. Naku armed Asaria with its steel. Asa moved on, conquering vast lands, kingdoms, and defeating empires. He was feared by all and considered a true son of Nakusa, the great conqueror. In the Northern Empire, envy festered in Naku's heart. His kingdom was depopulated and he could never match Asa in wisdom or in might. Why should Asa rule paradise while he choked on dust? Asaria had consolidated its power as a mighty empire that controlled all the realms in the west, south, and even part of the north. With its rising power arose greater threats and powerful enemies. One of Asa's greatest foe became Zaka, the necromancer. From the shadow pits of the underworld rose Zaka, the dark lord of the eastern fortress, a sorcerer who wore death like a cloak. His armies were not of flesh, but of rotting corpses pulled screaming from their graves. His magic blackened the skies, and his alliance with the Naku turned brother against brother. Zaka swore to destroy Asarian and turn its golden city into rumbles and ash. The Naku halted their weapons trade and aligned with its neighbors, blocking all weapon trade routes to Asaria. Asarian steel grew scarce, and for the first time in centuries, Asaria bled. King Asa, desperate, faced an unholy choice: to surrender or to sin. In the dead of night, Asa knelt before the Dark Witch's order, a coven so vile, their names were carved in cursed tongues. Their leader, High Priestess Zora, smiled with teeth like daggers. At last, a golden opportunity to dwell amongst men, for the witches were outlaws and considered dangerous by all realms. "Save your kingdom, King of Light, and we shall dwell in it forever," Zora declared. The treaty was signed in blood. With the condemnation spell performed by Zora and the Great Order, Zaka was defeated and sealed beneath the underworld, securing victory for the Asarians. The Naku fled in great despair, and their king raged in fury. But darkness, once invited, does not leave. For decades after King Asa passed, the witches lurked in gilded cages, blending among the people. They whispered in court. They caused illnesses and made the cure. Their wealth also grew. They married into noble houses, except for the royal house. They bided their time. Until Viola and Aniknun, the new high priest and priestess of the order, unveiled their true design. The throne will be ours. This treachery was revealed to the nobles and the pure-blood elders. They convinced King Asa II to destroy the witches once and for all. The king was hesitant, but feared the witches' growing power. Within the Temple of Witches was a young maiden, Zamora, the 18-year-old sorceress, born to the legendary sorcerer Aniknun and the enchantress Viola, granddaughter of High Priestess Zora. She inherited a legacy of formidable magic and unparalleled power. Her eyes, a stormy grey reminiscent of the ocean's depths, held secrets untold, and her long, raven-black hair cascaded like a waterfall of midnight. Zamora's beauty was said to be overwhelming, captivating all who beheld her. In a chance encounter, she crossed paths with Prince Solarius, the heir to the throne, whose heart she ensnared with a mere glance. Their love blossomed in secrecy, for the laws of the land forbade any union between royalty and those of magical descent. Yet beneath the moonlit canopy, they met in hidden glades, their souls entwined in a dance of forbidden passion. 3 nights before the full moon, King Asa gave the order, "Burn every witch." This was a surprise attack, and the witches, being greatly overwhelmed, were unprepared and defenseless. Blood soaked the street, as every single witch was burned in sight, and those who managed an escape would later be hunted. Not even the high priest and priestess were spared. Amid the slaughter, Prince Solarius risked his own life to save Zamora, who carried his unborn child unknown to the Asarians and the king. While Asaria celebrated the massacre, Solarius smuggled Zamora and her loyal handmaiden, Kehesha, into the night in the cave of Zadagon.
Like and subscribe.